This podcast is brought to you by Kiwi Design, the leader in MetaQuest and VR accessories. And now you can deck out your device while supporting the podcast. The MetaQuest 2 is a great headset, but do you ever feel things could be a bit more comfortable? Well, we have the solution for you. With lens protectors, controller grips, face covers, head straps, link cables, headset stands, and more, including my two personal favorites, the top version controller grips with added weight and an extended handle, and the Kiwi upgraded Elite strap. Let's be real, we've all whacked our controller. Don't be the guy messaging Oculus support for your own mistake or waiting weeks for an out-of-stock controller. Visit the link in our show notes to prepare yourself today. After visiting the link in our show notes, make sure to use the promo code Ruff Talk VR at checkout, all one word, to take full advantage of your savings. And make sure to click the link in our show notes so the podcast gets credit and you help support us. Remember, whatever you need, Kiwi has you covered. Hey, welcome to this episode of Ruff Talk VR. Today we have the developers of a new free-to-play game on...
One that we've been enjoying a lot.
Oh yeah, it's got some social elements, it's got solo thing, a 2v2, which we always love. So today we're talking to the developers of Quantaar. We have the CEO, Peter, and Huei. So do you two mind to introduce yourself a little bit to our listeners and also tell them exactly what Quantaar is and, you know, maybe why we love it so much?
Right. Thanks for having us. And hello, everyone. My name is Peter. I'm founder and CEO of Pumpkin VR. So we recently published the game that we have been working on for like 4 years, almost like 5 years.
Yeah,
so
5
called
years.
Quantaar. 5 years, yeah. I think 5 years already. Yeah. So Quantaar, it's a VR Party Brawler games that have a different modes such as Brawler. You have 2v2. We also got soccer mode, and we have social hub for people just like to get into to hang out and to relax and find a flame to play Quantaar. So yeah, you in Quantaar, it's a third person, combine the first person and third person, and actually we have around like 15 hero like character now. You can able to play with them, and then they all have their own skill and then ultimate, and it's pretty cool. Like you get to see the heroes inside VRs and all that. So yeah, that's pretty much me and Pumpkin and Quantaar. So wait.
Awesome. So hi, I'm Hui. So you can also find me in Discord, which I call Swamp Cat. And I'm in charge of marketing and business and slash many things that we've been sharing with you guys. Well, that's the life of working at a startup.
So you guys already answered one of my questions, which was going to be, you know, how long was this game in development?
So, right up on the list.
So 5 years. Wow. So how did this game, you know, how did the idea come up? You know, I've seen a lot of people use the comparison of Super Smash Bros, but it's definitely its own unique thing.
You know what's funny is I hear the Smash Brothers, right? But the fighting element of it reminds me of some of the old school arcade games I used to play, where if you can time things just right, you can do some pretty good. And that's why I think I'm actually doing well at it, because I used to put quarters in those machines all the time. So
yeah. So 5 years ago, there wasn't even the quest line yet. So I mean, how did this game inspire and come to be?
Sure, yeah. So it have to be like go way back to like when we started our company. It's in 2016. And like while like HTC Vive just like they launched at 2015, and then we start Pumpkin and we try to focus on VR, try to make some VR application, which we think this is a good opportunity. But at the very beginning of the year, we pretty much focus on location-based virtual reality. So we making games and licensing to our partners such as like Sega in Japan or Smilegaze. They have like those like arcade shop. So pretty much like they run with our game to selling the ticket. So because like back then like it's not too many VR user by that time, and then we figure like it's a good idea to making an arcade cabinet like arcade machine, and also we have idea about like Quantaar, um, uh, uh, around like a VR Party Brawler type of like game design, and then we actually building that arcade cabinet with some joystick and button, and we produce around like 12 of them, and we actually like having the esport event for those like arcade cameras. It's crazy. That's happening in like 2019
Yeah,
ish.
3 years ago.
Yeah, yeah, 3 years ago. And so from we have idea and then to build it to that, and then that being like around like 2 years. And after that, because like we try to a little bit like try to be like Street Fighter, because they have like like they have those like arcade machine everywhere, and then they become online. So that's kind of the flow we try to go. And then like it's a, a pandemic, so after pandemic, like all the arcade, like they close, and then it's definitely not a good time to to publish like this type of machine at that time. So we really like just like shut down the plane, like just like forget about like making those like cabinet and just focus on getting Quantaar online. So we have to add more game structure like marketplace or a social hub or different mode to make it more like the online game type of structure. So that took like more 1 or 2 years for build that. And then like this and then like the quest, right? Like the quest come out, like all the VR user, they pretty much like 80% of VR user is on the quest now. So we have to make us back that time is a PC VR title. So we have to, like from PC VR to to stand alone, and then we have to downgrade the model and then adjust the effect and all that. So yeah, so total around like almost 5 years to make it in games till now to publish. Yeah, that's the
It's
story.
that's a good journey. So I'm gonna before I actually ask the question, are there still do you still have those 12 machines?
Yeah, we do. Like yeah,
Okay.
it's just like sitting in our company, and then yeah.
And
That's
I was
awesome.
hoping to hear they kept a good fate. So I'm curious
Yeah.
how big the team is that actually has been working on this for the past half a decade.
We have around like 30 member in our team. But like we are, like we are bootstrapping company, so we taking cases. Some is like animation, and some is virtual reality, but different industry, like simulation or like training, this type of project, and try to founded Quantaar by ourselves. So we do like a little bit like everything, but and also Quantaar as well.
Wow.
Okay.
That's awesome.
That's
30.
not the usual answer I get.
No, we hear a lot of times, under 12 is
Mhm.
kind of the common. So 30 is actually
And it's usually pretty much focused strictly on
Game, yeah.
yeah,
yeah,
but that's awesome. You have you're branched out to a bunch of different things.
smart.
And this was a game that I first saw on Instagram probably about 2 years ago, around the time when we first launched the podcast. And I say it all the time that VR doesn't have enough social party type games.
Yeah.
And so, the concept of a party brawler, it's definitely something that VR was missing. So I'm hugely excited to see this ported to the Quest. We're Quest users, so we
Mhm.
wouldn't even be enjoying it without it. But like you said, there's some downgrading. It's definitely not as powerful as a fully rigged out PC VR machine. So what were some of the challenges to get this game, running on the Quest? Was it
Uh,
did it add to the development time, or was it actually a pretty smooth port?
no,
Oh.
nothing smooth at all.
It's a long story.
That's a struggle for sure. Because like Quest is like a new, it just like come out like couple years. Like all this thing like happened like very quick, and then um there's like not too many, like documentation about how to making the online structure game in Quest, like how to dealing with all that like connection issue or modeling issue. And then yeah, it's just like there's a on the technical side, game development side, or also like on the modeling and then animation side as well. So like a lot of things need to be conquered, but yeah, we make it work. Yeah. Finally, yeah.
I think the graphics are pretty damn good.
No, the first thing that you had said when you popped in, you go, "This shouldn't be free to play just off of
Yeah, I actually
visual
get
quality."
I got a little defensive of your product, and I was like, no way should this be free. It should, $9.99 to get it at least. It's like
Yeah.
it's really well done. I know there's been, some server issues due to actually gaming
Yeah,
popularity of it. It's not even to me like a function of the game failing. It's more of a
Every multiplayer game in VR at launch has some server
yeah, but
issues.
this one's got a buzz.
Yeah,
But I don't think
uh,
I mean, I don't feel like the graphics are suffering when I'm playing it on my Quest 2. So I give your team a lot of credit on that,
Mhm.
especially to be
appreciate.
a free to play
Well,
game. I mean,
yeah, this is a huge decision.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So on that, how did you guys decide on that pricing model? We're big. We'll say it up front, and just like you just referenced, we always think developers deserve money for their hard work, so we're always on team. Poof, just charge us money for it. I'll pay 10, 15
yeah,
dollars for
Cards and
this game.
Tankards, we said the same thing.
Yep.
Gods of
Yeah.
Gravity, we said the same thing because
But
they're all free to play.
it seems like sometimes with multiplayer games, you balance. Oh, but we need an audience of people playing to keep the
Yeah.
servers full, so that's kind of the fight. But how did you all decide to go free to play? Was there some rift internally? Was it a big discussion, or was that the intention from day one of development?
I will leave this question to Peter.
Oh, me? I thought you got like okay. So it's a very strong debate or discussion. Like we probably like discuss every once like 1 week or 2 week, and like even like we decide to have a title fee, like charge it as a title, and after like couple months, and then we are like, I think we should still like go back to free to play. I think the reason is um there's compared to like PC or mobile, like VR, the user is not really big enough. So we kind of very worry about if we charge the title fee, and then because the like bad thing happen for us is like we charge the fee, and then the title out, and then not too many people like knowing about this game, or even they know and they don't know like, who we are, they don't know this IP, we don't have IP. So not sure if they will download it or not. So, but making the free to play 3D, the idea is just want to like maximum the user, because we want to this is a game like we're working on for 5 years, and then we hope we have like as much as player can enjoy the games. Also, like we have the in-game purchase in the game, so we try like we wish that would work. We hope like people like that will pay for the like some couple like package, but yeah, but make it free to play. It's just for I think if the like the player can have the more um, can able to match the real people like every time they match. This will be the great game, and that's something like we definitely believe in it. So we try to make this happen. That's why like we make it free. Yeah.
Well, you all did it smart too, in the sense that you can pay to buy characters at quicker, but if you play the game, you're gonna unlock everything organically. It seems as
Yeah.
is just by leveling up and playing it.
Yeah.
So yeah, you can pay to get a character that you want, that you see on the list really
Yeah.
bad, or just keep playing, and then eventually
Yeah.
you're gonna get it. So
I
you,
just like see I just want to see people get compensated for
oh
the
yeah,
time they've put into the project, because these are all like, to me, every developer we speak to is like a true passion
hmm
project. It's they don't do it just because there's a
especially if you're choosing to do VR, it's because
uh-huh.
you love it. You see a lot of potential in it. So yeah, you definitely wouldn't want us in those meetings where
No,
where the
I'd be the guy yelling and screaming,
9.99,
9.99. Yep.
yeah. But hopefully we're wrong, and you all get to ride off in the financial sunset, because the game is so good and there's so
Well,
much esport potential.
that's what I was going to go on with the competition side of it. Down the road, you'd almost think that there would be some sort of esport with it.
Yeah, the game's got it's quick, it's
Mhm.
fast rounds. The solo mode, it's 1 3-minute round, and then
Yeah.
co-op is best of 3 of 2-minute rounds. So games are fast. It's
Well, it's a fast-paced game too.
yeah.
You're not
Yeah.
going to sit there and not move around.
So
It's
hopefully,
unique though. I'm in my head. I'm like, how do you actually describe
hmm
because you're adding elements that I've never played in a fighting game,
top.
even with a moving camera. It's still
Yeah, so this might be a good one for Huei. We've thrown a couple at Peter. What's the community reception been like with release? I know you all have a passionate Discord. So what's the Discord reception been like, and what's just been the general consensus since release?
Well, it's complicated. Well, because it's it's like a very unique gameplay, Quantaar, and so it's a little bit hard to marketing or to spread the word because people don't know how to play the game by just seeing the footage or by seeing like gameplay video. So people always have doubts about why this is not a first person view. If this is not a first person view VR, this is not even a VR game. So this kind of like feedback or comment. Well, we receive this kind of every day, every single day. So I will say it's still very a little bit difficult for us to let people to like acknowledge or to just to join us to play Quanta because they never seen this kind of game. But our community is very supportive. So, for example, in our Discord, we have like the kind of discussion like chatting which character is best or how to make like how to level up faster, things like that. And tomorrow we're going to host our first ever community night by playing Quanta. So come join us if you have time. It's 10 p.m. CST.
That's awesome. And well, this is where you all win with the pricing model. As much as we say, oh no, it's $9.99. Well, you get to say, hey, if you're at all skeptical, it's free. Go download it. And we've been talking about it a lot in our Discord, and that's something we say is like, it just came out. It's free. You have literally nothing to lose of trying it. And I argue with people a lot about top-down VR. I'm a fan of it. I love top-down strategy games. You see big hits like Moss. It works in VR, so I've been loving it. I think that it's just a matter of people trying it. So that's where that free-to-play model definitely wins because, like I said, if you're at all skeptical, it's a quick download.
And it's also true to the honesty of like when you're on App Lab, you are responsible for getting that word out.
Mm-hmm.
And in a case like this, it's not like you can piggyback off of like, let's say, a Beat Saber type game where people just see the word, rhythm game and they'll just latch on it. So you're literally having to lay this foundation for a product that is really its own thing.
It's a trend setting. And the way it goes is once this is successful, because in my opinion, this is a no-brainer.
Mm-hmm.
That's the time that other people are going to go, well, let's do top-down VR brawlers, because then you're going to
somebody's done it and proved it.
Yeah, it's just a matter of you proving it works. But not for nothing, I haven't had any issue finding a match. The average time it takes to find a match is like under 30 seconds.
Mm-hmm.
So clearly people are playing the game. It's really easy to find matches. So I don't know. I think down the line, I think this is a prime candidate for the official store. I've been loving it. And you mentioned in your Discord that there's some tips for characters and stuff. So for you two, which characters are your favorite to use?
I want to answer first. Agent Park. Agent Park is my favorite.
That's awesome. And then I'll ask tips about these characters afterwards. But then for Peter, who's your favorite character?
I love all the characters.
Oh, yeah, you're the founder.
They're all your babies, I'm sure.
Yeah.
I play like PvP game like since I was child. I play League of Legends around like 10 years. Like not like I like every day, but it's like probably like I will get out for like 1 or 2 years, but I still come back to play. But for this type of and I am actually not really good at it. Just play to compete, and for me like I didn't remember like how to get the correct core and how to buy the correct weapon for the character. I just play different character and then just to I having fun. So for Quantaar, like same as well, just like playing like different character always have a different fun to see like all the effect or ultimate. So for me, like I really just like I like all the character we have.
I respect that.
Yeah,
I'm scared to jump characters. I'm not gonna lie. I picked one from the start, and I've yet to even try. And I've got a bunch in my
And I keep
my
getting
little
more.
display, and I'm like, that looks really cool, but I'm like a stat,
Yeah, I'm good with Captain Fury. I got my strategy down,
A
so
lot of people seem to like that one.
yeah,
I'm gonna
Captain
say
Fury's.
that's got to be one of the most I see when I.
So now to follow up on that question, let's give tips for one of the characters. For your favorite character, and then for Peter for any one of the
Any one of the list.
Yeah, what's like a good new character one? I'm sorry, new good character for a new player. And then for
Well,
Huei, yeah, give some tips on your beast over there.
well, I have to say, actually, I just confessed this in our Discord that before the game launch, I thought I was pretty good. I was good enough, even I was good enough in playing
Yeah.
Quantaar. But when I actually met all these players, to be honest, I never won a single match today. I've been playing.
Oh my god.
I've been playing like 10 matches today, but I always lost. And there's even one player who told me that, Swamp Cat, I know you're gonna hate me. And then he got like 11 or yeah, I think he got 9 kills and scored 11. And mine, I was like -3. So I don't know how can I like provide any like suggestion to new players because I'm not really good, I think. I'm so sorry.
No,
Oh my
I
god.
appreciate the honesty.
It's not the first time we've heard this as an answer though either, because
Yeah.
we've had many a dev say that
The
until the
community.
game came out, and then it came out, and then the tides turned. You can't even win in your
Yeah.
own game.
Yeah. So then for Peter, since they're all your babies, you love them all. What is there any that you would suggest? Like I said, for a new player going in, like, all right, I love them all, but this is one that is really easy to pick up, etc.
um if it's easy to pick up would be like Fresh, because it's like she's like shooter, so we actually take it. If you put like League of Legends before, there's a character called Fan, so it's actually a little bit like we take in like game design a little bit by that hero. But definitely like Fresh is something our the character we've been created at very beginning.
Yeah,
So
she's
it's
the OG.
yeah, she's she's like one of the 4 character I think we build. Um, so yeah, that's she's definitely like it's easy to you really like dodge and shoot, and if there's a cool character, I would say will be the Shadow Sound, but that's like the ninja character. That's like in the edition though. That's in the Premium edition. But there's he got some like cool skill. Really, if you are like if you like skill, and then definitely that character will be like one of the character you able to play with different type of higher skill. I would say like in for that character, and actually I'm saying as Huei as well. Like so we have the esport event like 2 years before, right? So 2 or 3 years before for Quantaar, and by that time when I like playing with a player before, I'm like we develop these games. I gonna kill you guys. But then like every time we play, like they just like, yeah, they just like we can't beat the player actually. So so they're just like too good. But I think also like one mechanic we want to have in Quantar, it's like even you lose, you still having fun. So that's a very big point when we want to when we build in this game.
No, that's huge, and it's fun. It's like Stratus was saying before, we're the opposite, where we grab one character and lock on.
I'm scared to let go of her.
Yeah, I use Captain
She does
Fury.
me so well.
And it's just especially in co-op, we got a good combo with
Oh,
his fletch
yeah.
being the
Yeah.
ranged. You're able to pick him off at range. I sneak up behind him. I do
Dude,
that.
you can pick them off at range, and then if you time it right and they get close, you're just gonna lay just a beat down, and then you can jump away and just start all. I love her,
and I love
Yeah.
Captain Fury's the combo with the on the right trigger where you hit the 3rd time and then it does the smash down and the
Yeah.
rocks come up. Oof, that's my jam right there. So
No.
something I'm curious about, because I noticed when you win a match, your ranking goes up. and when you lose a match, it goes down a little bit. So you have a ranking, which I love. So for the matchmaking, is it skill based off of that ranking, or right now is it complete open? Doesn't matter the skill or the ranking or the level, and it's able to pair up with anybody.
Now it's able to pair up with anybody because this is like our first season, so we still like a lot of things we try to figure out. Also, like the ranking system is definitely like one of the system like we want to focus on. Um, yeah, so pretty much like you can get the ranking point by 2v2 or soccer or party brawler. By those three, like you can get the rank point.
Okay, I'm actually relieved to hear that because I
Mhm.
like to win, and I was like, oh no, my ranking's going up. I'm doing a good job getting wins. I think because a lot of people are still learning the game, I'm in that glory stage where I'm able to
I'm
get.
just lucking out.
Yeah,
I
I'm
don't
getting.
know. I don't know why I'm good. I tell you when we play, I'm like, dude, I don't feel like I'm good at this at all. And then we go in and just destroy.
Yeah, I'll get like five to 8 kills in
Mhm.
a round. It's ridiculous. And bear with us for a second just to give the visual for the listeners of how this game works. You have 3 different game modes. It can be a 4-person brawl with every man for themselves. You can do 2v2 with 2 versus 2 on teams,
Which
or
I
you
love.
can do a soccer mode, which is really cool as well, which is also 2v2, and you can invite your friend and like join up in the lobby, so you can guarantee that you go in with your friend for the 2v2. And then there's also like a social hall and rooms, but the core aspect of a brawl, like you mentioned, there's a bunch of different heroes. So in the tutorial, you start with one hero, and then you'll unlock more from playing from there. And you attack with your right trigger or your left trigger, and each one has a different attack. And it's like a top-down view that you can either go really close to your character or farther away. Which personally, I prefer
I do
that
the
far away.
distance, yeah,
Yeah,
so I can not have to move around.
and
Just
then
run my character.
besides having your character that you select, one of the 15 that you don't have all unlocked right away, but you unlock them. You also have your avatar yourself as the player, which is a little bit part of the game. So you can go, like I said, either really close or far away, and then each of you have 3 lives and a little health bar above and like a special attack meter. And you fill up your special attack meter by doing damage to opponents. And if you get hit, it goes down. And if you fill up 1 gauge of the special bar meter, you can use that 1 bar of it with like a special attack by pulling both triggers. And it does a unique special attack with each character has their own. And if you fill that baby all the way up till it's like rainbow colored,
Oh, the kill 'em all attacks.
oh my goodness, every character has a unique special ability
Yeah.
that has the potential to murk everybody. And like I referenced before, a 4-person every man for themselves brawl, 3 minutes. So 3 minutes, everybody has 3 lives, and then if everybody dies except one person, like all the lives are gone, boom, instantly over. But if it goes to the time limit, your score is basically the amount of kills you got minus amount of deaths. So if you didn't die at all and you got 5 kills, your score is 5. But if you got 3 kills, died twice, you have a score of 1. So it's very common people have negative scores where they get more deaths than kills. And then it also shows you your total amount of damage taken and your total amount of damage dealt. So if you're tied with somebody's score, it comes down to those factors. So it's quick, it's fast paced. Like I said, it's
It's
top down
rewarding
view.
too.
Yeah.
Winning is really. I find if I win, the reward is fantastic. How I feel, but man, sometimes when you lose bad.
Variety
Oh
of
my.
characters, each with
Uh-huh.
unique attacks as default attacks, with the triggers are unique mini special ability, unique full special ability. And then there's also cores that you can unlock or buy throughout the game that give little special abilities. Like if you knock up an opponent, it boosts your shield or reduce damage to range attacks. And you can have 4 or 3 kind of minor cores and 1 major one. But to activate your major one, you have to have 2 different mini cores of the same category as that major one. So there's tons of customization with your character. Each character has multiple skins. Like I said, the avatar that you yourself comes into play because there's items that you can pick up in the game that are either things that you throw onto the game board, or you can shoot like an octopus at the other character and it hits their screen and it covers it. So that's basically the whole format of the
That's
game.
a very quick rundown, but
yeah, just to kind of give players the visual. And like I said, there's a social room that holds up to like 30 players
social room is wicked cool.
with a bunch of
I
mini
did not
games.
expect it to be. I didn't expect to have. I mean, dude, they even have the little drop ride.
So you could even like meet up with, if you have like a Discord group you're with or a Facebook group, you meet up everybody in there and then squad up from there and go into rooms. There's endless potential for private tournaments. So the game is so freaking replayable and fun. For you guys, what's the end vision for the game? Is it like esports, tournaments? Where do you see this game going?
More heroes.
More heroes.
More
Yeah.
heroes.
What's the roadmap on your guys
Yeah.
for? Or is it just bug fixes, server? What's the priorities?
Oh, and more hero for sure. Like more hero definitely. Like we adding like more every new hero once a month. Also we try to building also like the season will be like 2 months for a new season. That's yeah, that's the short term like goal like for Quantaar. And the long term goal is we um really taking League of Legends as our model. So like what we try to do is like really like what they entered PC gaming for 10 years, like 10 years ago, and then now they still exceeding in the market, like making like bunch of stuff like esports like one of them, and then create like this like game experience for the players. That's something what we want to do to make Quantar a very long term, and then like operate like different function or different heroes and different mode, and for like adding new stuff for VR user.
Dude, a hero a month?
Yeah, it's pretty aggressive.
Wow.
Hmm.
That's huge.
Yeah, I
and
think. Yeah, sorry.
So no, keep going.
Yeah, I think esports is definitely one of our like goals that we want to go for, because, well, they are VR esports, right? But they are all physics based, which means you need to stand there or you need to jump upside down. And I love this type of games because I love population one, of course. I love like super hot. But I'm sorry, I'm a lazy player. So all I want to do is I want to like sit on sit on a chair, or just lie in bed playing games. So every time when I play in Quantaar, I like either I just sit in a chair or I literally lie in bed. And so esports is definitely something we really really want to do in the
Yeah,
future.
and the fact like we have those that experience before, like having the export event for like so the player is it's from the a lot of like university from Taiwan. They have their like esport like or like gaming group. So the players that come from those group, and then it's amazing. I mean, like it's the we have the people, and then just like to talk when they playing the game, when they fight in the games. And we also have camera like spectacular mode, like camera for transfer like the the fighting thing. um I don't know if I make it correct or not, but like
Broadcasting, do you
yeah,
mean?
broadcasting, yeah, broadcasting like system for the esport event. And then it's amazing, like a lot of we make it, and we have this sport at the like the shopping mall, and then they have like a lot of people just like just like kind of like watching the esport, the VR esport event. They not even have the VR game experience before, but they just like it's very fun for watching all the players playing Quantar, even is in VR. So that, yeah, so definitely like esport is something we want to do. And yeah.
No, it's definitely got the. It's just an opinion. It feels like it's definitely for esports. If you want to take it that
Yeah.
direction, and if you chose not to, it still would be fine because it's not
Uh,
going to take away from being a Still a good so.
Yeah.
I won't even say party experience because I know I'm not throwing a party when we're playing, but definitely a social game.
Yeah. No,
I love the two when we do 2v2. It's freaking
Yeah.
awesome.
yeah. Again,
Personally, I really like 2v2. I love 2v2. I think this we actually have that mode before we want to have in the esport event. Like we make this we build in this mode because like we know like, oh, we're going to have the esport event and we think 2v2 might be a good idea, and then like we come up with this mode. But after that, I'm for personally, because I in 2v2 you get to cooperate with a player but also like fighting with other player. You got like two feeling, at the same time while you play 2v2. So I find that it's an awesome experience for me. So yeah, so 2v2 is definitely like have a very potential, and also good to watch as well, fun to watch.
well, that's the thing is that you have the
Yeah.
observer mode as well. It's like the game
Yeah.
is so.
I'm trying to think of like doing an esports like MC commentating a match with a 2v2. That's
No, there's endless potential.
that's some
Endless
serious
potential.
You got to be on your A game because there's a lot going on.
You know, there's
just think of how you and I play. I'll be bouncing everywhere off that screen.
Yeah, there's a couple esports leagues in VR, and if I was them, I'd be looking to add this to the list. And I'm completely with you. I'm not, it's hard when you work a whole day to come home, and I appreciate all the VR games that fully utilize sword fighting and boxing and fitness, and I think that there is hey, that's one of the great things about VR, but
Yes.
sometimes you work a long day and you just want to play a video game, and I don't think that you should be restricted to flat screen gaming for that. I think top down VR game, what you joked is the lazy VR gaming, but it's fun, and I think that there's a huge market for that. So
I still move around a lot when I play it. Don't ask me why. I play standing up,
Yeah.
but I in between rounds I'll realize I'm totally faced the other way. I don't care what the game is, unless I'm forced to sit. And then even then, if I sit, I use a swivel chair because I'll.
Yeah, but I appreciate that it's actually just a game.
Yeah, no,
just
you don't have to
on the
move around.
controllers, and it's nice and easy to play. And I think that there's a big market for that in VR. I don't think every game has to make you sweat, and you can only play it for 30 minutes and all of that. So yeah,
This one doesn't destroy my battery either.
No,
I can't figure that out because there's a lot going on. But I've noticed that it's not a real, and I pay attention to the battery drain that a game will put on a system. But
for some reason, I can play a good amount of this, and I'll be like, wow, my battery's not the most.
I still have time to play more.
Yeah,
pretty weird.
It's definitely interesting in that regard.
That's great news for us.
yeah. And have you, what's the split of the player base right now? Are you seeing more Quest 2, PC VR on Steam, kind of 50-50?
Well, it's
yeah, you go.
okay. Yeah, it's like 95% both on Quest 2.
That's awesome. I totally believe that. And was that what you were anticipating going into that as well, or is it kind of past your expectations in that regard?
About what, sorry?
Is there more Quest 2 players? Like, is the ratio more leaning to Quest 2 than you thought it would be? Or is that kind of what you two were expecting going into it?
Well,
we're actually gaining a lot of player from Pico as well.
Wow.
Oh, really?
That's awesome.
I didn't notice that.
Yeah. We're actually gaining a lot of player from Pico.
Oh.
So I would say like probably like 40% is from
Wow.
Pico. Yeah.
Still that standalone VR though, that's the
Well, that's a lot.
Yeah.
That's really cool to hear.
We tried to get a Pico. It didn't work well.
No, not yet.
Couldn't get it.
But we'll
Couldn't get
chipping away. But that's awesome to hear. I think it's it's a game built for competitive standalone VR.
I mean, if you just want a fun and like you mentioned with the round times, it's like you don't have to commit to 2 hours of gaming to have fun. If you're short on time and you just want to have just a quick match by yourself or play with your buddy for 15-20 minutes, you can actually play more than one round in 15 minutes. So I like the pace. I don't feel like I'm not going to get bored. Once it starts, I'm going to get that anxiety a little of like competitive, like I want to win, I'm way too competitive.
Oh man, it's so easy to keep doing one more because it's only going to be.
Yeah, you said that the other night. I was like, I got to go to bed, and you're like, no, dude, it's only a couple minutes.
Let's
Come on.
do one more.
All right, it's easy. It's fine. And then sometimes I want to leave on a high note. So if like we have a really good match, it's like I don't want to I'm not gonna outdo that. I don't want to go to
Yeah.
bed after losing.
But then if we lose, we got to do one
Now you
more
gotta do one more.
to finish it off. So to kind of go back to the name Pumpkin VR, because I got to know this. How'd that name come up? Because I love it. I love it for a studio name.
Peter.
Okay. So probably just pretty much just like want like people to very easy to remember us, and also like Apple, and then like a very easy name but very catchy as well. So figure like pumpkin might work. So yeah, that's the very simple reason, but yeah, that's part of the reason why like we choose pumpkin.
Well, it works. 'Cause,
Yeah, I love it.
Yeah, easy to remember, and it's cool when they show it on when you're loading in the little graphic, and then the sound that's with it is. The sound quality in this game is great too. I want to hit on that.
Dude, everything's good. The sound quality, the artwork
Yeah.
when you load in, not only the visuals of the actual game, like the artwork of the loading screen.
You know what's really good? The tutorial. And I love that because I had to go back to it because I whizzed through I did everything, and then I went and did some, and I felt like I was like, remember, I'm like, I don't know how to use my special shit, you know? And then I went back to it, and then was like, shit, I just pick whichever one I want and re-educate myself. And then we went back in
and then there's also like an advanced tutorial where you can face an NPC. You can set modifiers to them in terms of like, well, they will do these attacks, they won't do these ones.
So it's huge props on letting the player actually learn every step, even though some of them might seem pretty basic. It all comes together very well.
Yeah, so I think that this is a game that it's only been out a week, just about.
I know, right?
I think it's a no-brainer for eventually the official store.
Well, I was going to ask. I mean, you going to go for this? Do you feel a push that you're going to go for the store, or are you just going to ride out App Lab?
That's definitely like where you want to say something.
Well, as a team or as a marketer, it would be great if we can get on a Quest store, because you get more visibility, and people get noticed by it's either by Meta layer, like from the official channels or from other like influencer or whatever. But I have to say, because of the game only like launched for like 5 days by far, it's not even a week, so we're still like watching and to see what's gonna happen next. But I don't feel there's like a push or strays or Peter, do you have another thought, or you really want to get on
like for
Quest?
For Cresto is definitely like as soon as possible, like because like that's for sure. But I think that's depend on Meta, like it's depend on us. So
and have you heard anything from them, or is it just radio silent? The typical, you upload to App Lab, it gets approved, and then kind of silence from them.
Well, actually, we've been in discussion with Meta for a very long time, and but our game is quite unique, and we need to prove ourselves that this works.
But that's the typical story we hear too. They want to see that you're not relying on them.
Well, and we also know that they do like
unique
things
games
that are their own, that aren't necessarily just copycats of what's already worked. So I get it. It just I totally understand how hard the App Lab, I'll say, marketing hustle is, because I mean, there's been games that are kind of known, but once they're on App Lab, they're still at their mercy to have to market and really get the word out for it. So it's doubly hard when you're marketing something that's never been done.
I'll sell it right now. You ready? Think of this right now. The Quest 3 is coming out this fall, right? So that means there's going to be a Christmas push. So picture this: you're a 15-year-old kid. Your parents just spent $500 on the Quest 3. They're probably not going to want to spend $200 on games, right? So what's the first thing you're going to do? You're going to go explore the free-to-play options. You don't know about App Lab yet or anything like that. To have Quantaar on the official Quest store on Christmas, when people are, being introduced to VR with a new time, or for the first time, is going to add to the replayability and the potential to capture a new VR user so greatly. Again, picture that 15-year-old, that 16-year-old, that 17-year-old.
Picture the 50-year-old.
Yeah, what did we do when we first got our
First
headset?
thing I did when I got a headset was what is free. And
We had Epic
unfortunately,
Roller Coaster and Rec
it
Room.
wasn't a great choice.
And imagine if we had Quantaar. You know, it's like you're going to drain your headset
If I had
battery
known
that day.
Yeah, no. I mean, I don't see, as long as and I don't know the details on like, you know, frames per second going on with the game, because I do know Quest has very specific standards that they seem to hold.
I just think it would be very good for retention for that new VR user to have this on the official Quest store as a free to play game. I think it would help them a lot, especially with an influx coming with the Quest 3. I'm just saying, you know, it's unique. It's got huge.
I mean, I'm not gonna lie. I'd love to play this on the Quest 3. See how it performs on, which is just more power for the developer. So it's
it's a no-brainer for me for the official Quest store. But I know we're preaching to the choir. I know you.
I don't think you
all feel the same.
I think you have to sell Pumpkin VR on being on the store.
So
which will make marketing a lot easier as well.
No,
yeah,
so
that's true.
Yep.
You know, we're definitely appreciative of you all taking the time to do this. You know, 12-hour time difference from where we are. So we always joke we're selfish. You know, we take developers on the weekend.
Not only do we take developers on the weekends, we take them up till like the next day because we've held them hostage so long.
So, is there anything else that you wanted to ask either of them before we let them go?
No, I mean, literally, like, without even having to ask most of my questions, I got it. The reality is, it's been out like was mentioned, less than a week. I think the team
5
is
days.
aggressively taking care of things as they come up, and it just has to get worked through. So I'm hoping people will be, I'll say, a little more supportive in the review department.
Yeah, there were some 1 stars over
issues that are, you know, being taken care of. So but I know that not everybody will ever go back and be like, well, I'm still playing the game and it's running great, but I'm not going to go change my review. So it's there forever. But I'd love to have the both of you on again.
6 months,
6
year
months.
from now.
I was thinking like the 6 month mark down the road,
just to see how launch has been, how the reception is from there. Yeah.
How's everything looking on the Christmas sale for the App Store?
Yeah.
You know, something to that effect. But I'm just blessed you both took time out to kind of educate us and what'll be the listeners a little bit into Quantaar.
Yeah. So
and to go find it.
So yeah, again, we're definitely appreciative of you two joining us today. And for our listeners, you know, the game's Quantaar on App Lab and Steam, but where can they find, you know, your Discord, and where can they find you on social media to you know, follow for updates and stuff like that?
Yeah. So we are on all the socials from Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, even TikTok. So if you want, of course, our website, you can find every link on our website, and including our Discord, YouTube, of course.
And is it just
so you just simply type quantaar.com.
Perfect. That's easy right there.
Easy enough.
And to our listeners, again, this game's free to play. You know,
and our Pico players, because we actually have some in our Discord too.
Yeah, so it's available. It seems like pretty much, you know, besides
headsets.
PlayStation, but you know, PC VR, Quest VR, and Pico, you know, nothing to lose with this one.
Could it be ported to the new Apple headset?
Who knows? I don't.
Well, that's pretty ambitious.
Yeah,
not that I'm buying a headset, so I'm not missing out. But
it's tough with no controllers.
That's what I was thinking. I'm like, how would you actually pull that off?
But
it would be kind of cool in that mixed reality sense too.
So I keep saying it, nothing to lose with free to play. It's unique.
No. My only beef with free to play is I think that the team should get paid fairly for what they've put out there, and regardless of the fact of in-game purchases that rely on people to be like, I want to support from the get-go. But that's just my opinion. But the reality is yes, you can enjoy every inch of this for free.
And of course you can upgrade your game inside.
Yeah.
You know, you can buy you can buy different purchases. You can buy a specific hero you want, you know, in the store by getting the tokens for it. So there's plenty of ways to support the developers too.
Yep.
We're just passionate that you all made a great game. Visually, it's stunning. Audio wise, it's stunning. Gameplay wise, it's so replayable. A hero a month, that's amazing. So I mean, a lot to look forward to with Quantaar. I think it's going to be one of the biggest esports games in VR. And hopefully we can have you all back on, like Trash said, in about 6 months or so. That would be good. So thank you both of you for joining
Thank you.
today. And again, to our listeners, go check out Quantaar.
Thank
Awesome.
you. Appreciate
Thank you,
for having
guys.
us.
Awesome.